Hola mi gente bella y bienvenidos a mi canal. My name is Sandra if this is your first time here, and welcome to my channel. In this channel you'll be learning and I'll be speaking about everything high-end or luxury candle making business tips. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we will be discussing wax melts or wax tarts, however you guys want to say it. Should you have it in your candle business line or should you not have it in your business line? So before we get into the nitty-gritty, wax melts are just I want to say like an extension of a candle without it having any flames. So you have a wax melter that you use to put your wax, and your wax could be either paraffin wax or it could also be soy wax. Whichever combination of wax that you choose, you make sure that it is a wax that is compatible to stay in a mold alone. So a lot of the big places where you find waxes will sell specialized waxes for making wax tarts. You cannot use the waxes that you use for your candles to make wax tarts because it's not going to hold in the mold. The moment you try to take it out, it will be squishy and it will not hold the shape of the actual mold. Trust me, it happened to me. I did not know. So that's how I know. There are a variety of wax melter equipment or tools that you could use to put your waxes on top so that you could have a nice smelling home or area or space in your house without actually lighting a candle. So that's a good thing about having a wax melter or a wax melt or a wax start. So there are several different wax melters that you could use to heat up your actual waxes. So the first one that I have is the one that is the very simplest one, and I got this from the dollar store. So all you have to do with this one is just to put a tea light right here in the middle, and then the heat from the tea light will heat up the wax melt, and then you'll have a nicely scented area with this actual wax melt. The next one that I have is one that I got from Walmart, and this one is probably around $10 to $15. It could range higher than that depending on how elaborate and how expensive you want to pay for a wax melter, especially if you want it to be like a decor piece in your home. Then you will want one that looks really, really nice. And this one is the one that I got from Walmart. And all you have to do in here is to plug it in. The one that I showed you before did not need electricity, but this one does need electricity. And it has a switch to turn it on and to turn it off. And it has a light bulb in the inside where you put a light bulb, and then the light bulb lights up, and this what heats up the actual wax melt inside. So this one has wax already in it that I used before, and all you have to do is just plug it up, light it up, and let it do its thing. Now the thing with this is that you have to make sure that you do not leave a little bit of wax after you melt it, and you have to make sure that you let your customers know that they need to discard or add more wax to the wax melter once, I believe, 1/4 of wax is left inside of the melter itself. So a lot of people don't do that, and they always leave it just melting all the way to the bare minimum, and then they wonder why it doesn't smell anymore. But the thing about with wax melters is that it's very economical. It is very easy to do. You don't have to wick it, number one, and you don't have to buy jars for it, number two, which is very inexpensive to do. The only thing that is a little bit tricky with wax melters is the fact that because it is small in size, it might not make a whole entire room smell as nice as a candle that is a lot bigger and it has actual flame that is continuous around with the actual candle. However, there are instances in which an actual wax melt does have its scent very, very good, and it will light up an entire room. Well, not light up, but it will scent up an entire room. And those are more than likely paraffin infused, or just paraffin altogether wax melts. But you know, you choose your battles. If you don't like paraffin, then don't use paraffin. But paraffin tends to have a higher centro than any other of the wax. So when I was starting my business, I had an idea that I was going to have my candles and I was going to have my wax melt as a gift package bundle. So you'll have a massage oil, a wax melt, or a candle in a box, and that would have been like a gift box for you know, couples night or girls night, or whatever it is that you wanted to do with the actual boxes with the gift, right? So you know me, I'm a very overzealous person, and I like to spend the moment that I think about an idea. So the moment that I thought about this idea, I went out and purchased all the wax molds that I could find. And my thing was, because I had already purchased one mold, and because my business is centered around roses and aroma, so I was going to get rose melts or wax tarts that was in the shape of a rose. So I bought one, and then I realized that, wow, one was, because it came in a package of 4, I believe, and each of those 4 brings 6 flower molds inside of each of those, right? So I was doing the math, and I was like, okay, so I'm making these wax starts, and I'm making only 6 at a time times 4. So that's what, 24, right? If I'm doing the math correctly. So when I was doing the math, I'm like, okay, so I could only do 24 at a time, but I'm making so many waxes and different scents that I could only make certain scents at a time. So I don't know, in my mind that didn't make any sense. It didn't compute. So I went out and purchased a whole bunch of wax molds in the shape of a flower, and y'all gonna see this in a minute. So you guys want to see. So technically this was actually 2 per pack. I said 4, but it was 2 per pack. So at the time I was only making 12 wax starts at a time. So I'm like, okay, so I think I need more, because if I'm making orders, I can only make 4 at a time. So I was like, okay, so I need more. So I went out and purchased y'all. Woo. All of these. Look at that. All of these. And I think I have more somewhere laying around. So I purchased all of these molds. And I don't even think I used all of these molds. I mean, I took it out of the pack so I could store them a lot easier. But I didn't need all of that. Like, I really did not need all of that. Now they're sitting in here just collecting dust. So then I had another bright idea that in my gift boxes, that I should have different tiers. So I'll have the medium, the small, and the large wax starts. But then it didn't compute that a lot of the wax starts, not a lot of people have the large melters. Most of the melters that people buy are the medium-sized melters. But that didn't compute at the time, because my mind was like, okay, I gotta make this. You know, my ideas were just flowing, and I was just going with the flow, right? So then, luckily this time, I didn't purchase so much of the flower molds. I did purchase 2 molds, and these would have been the large molds. So I only purchased 2 of these. Thank you, Jesus, I did that, because that would have been too much. So I only purchased 2 of these, and that was 12. Again, I have 12 large ones for these molds, right? So I believe I didn't buy any more because they were kind of expensive, because these were a lot larger. Maybe that's why, I don't remember, but I only bought 6, right? So then I'm like, okay, so I need the smaller ones. And then I went out and purchased all of these. Look at these. And some of them are still in the plastic wrapping. So I purchased all of these, which I don't even use. Like, I do not use them. And the reasoning behind that was because in each of the packaging, I only wanted the rose mold and didn't come in one shape. So they came in a bundle, I believe a bundle of 4. So these were the ones that came in a bundle of 4, but they all had different flower shapes. So that's why I purchased 4, I think. 1, 2. Yeah, so I purchased 4 sets just to use just one of these, which was the rose one. And I might have probably used it a few times after that, but then yeah, I did not use it anymore. So these what the wax tarts look like, and this one is a soy wax tart. I'm sure you guys can see this because it's pretty white. So this one is a soy wax tart, and that would have been from the really small rose mold. And after people were not interested in the wax tarts gift box, I excluded that from my shop. But because I did have a lot of these and I have them in a bag, I started giving these out for free, in the same sense as the candles that I provided to people when they purchase candles, right? So then these would have been the large flowers. And I want to say this one is a blend of paraffin and I want to say paraffin and soy. I want to say, I cannot remember. But yeah, I don't use these and I don't give them out, and it's just collecting dust, basically. So I realized that I do in my business what I feel I would like to purchase. So you have to know your audience, and you have to also be somewhat of your audience in order for you to be a successful business owner and a successful seller. So I am my audience, and in a way, and I particularly don't care too much for wax tarts now. I don't particularly care for them now, but maybe in the future I might. So I know that I did put those wax tarts, which were the itty bitty ones, in a lot of my orders to, I don't want to say get rid of them, but technically yes, get rid of them, because I wasn't going to use them. And a lot of people that got it, like, they were okay with it, but they really did not. Yay, I wanted wax tarts. So I did an experiment, and I realized that when I purchase things from other companies, they put things that I would actually use and that I would actually purchase in their store. For example, Candle Science, they give you a free fragrance oil of 1 ounce, or is it 2 ounces? I believe it's 1 ounce fragrance oil that you could use, that you could smell, and if you like it, guess what you'll do? You go back to the website and purchase that product because you liked the scent. So I figured, hold up, if I'm putting wax tarts in every purchase, and is a purchase that that person already has. So they already have that same scent in their home. Why would they come back to purchase that scent if I already gave them a free wax Tarts, or they already have the candle? And then I figured, okay, so maybe I could put in a different scent so that they could use the different scent and come back to my store to purchase that scent either in a candle or in whatever else products that I have that scent in. But then I figured that how will this person know that that scent is also in a candle if I'm not presenting that item in the form in which I'm selling it in my website, right? So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do a different thing. And so, because when I purchase things from other stores, they provide free items for me to purchase and to enjoy, that I'm like, oh, this is nice. I could go back and purchase this at a later time. Sephora does this all the time. They leave little packets of whatever freebies they have at the store, and they put it inside your bag, and you try it on, either the lotion or the hair product or the little cologne or perfume sample set that you get. And if you enjoy it, then you purchase the actual larger bottle. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put that business model into my business and see how that works. And lo and behold, it works a lot better. In my opinion, in my business, that's how it worked out for me, because I get repeat customers coming for items that they didn't purchase, but because I put it inside of their packaging, then they enjoyed that product. And it's sometimes I'll put the full product in there if I have extras, or I'll give you a sample set. I do have sample sets of my room sprays, and a lot of my customers like the room sprays. And those room sprays, it took me a minute. My husband and my kids were helping me put those room sprays together, because they come in a, I want to say it's a 1 milliliter bottle. Is pretty small, but the impact of that scent is very strong. So my thing is if wax melt is working for your business, then leave the wax melt in your business. If wax melt it's not working in your business, then include something else so that customers could come back to your store to purchase whatever item that you already have in your store, so that they'll have that that item there that they could purchase. So with every purchase, I do add that little room spray, which doubles as a perfume, and it also doubles as a linen spray. So I put in a little gift, a free gift, little card with the actual free milliliter room spray, and so that they'll know what the actual spray is. If you don't have to do that, but I thought it was an extra touch of of importance and classiness and luxurious feel to my boxes. You don't have to do that, but I did it because I wanted to give information about the item that they purchased, so that if they wanted in the future, they could go ahead and know exactly what they have for free. So if you want to try something new in your shop, I highly encourage you to try it out. The little bottles, I got those from SKS Bottles, and a lot of other suppliers do have those as well, and they're very inexpensive. You do have to be a little bit creative to fill those up with whatever scent that you want them to have. It is coming out of your pocket in the in the short run, but however, if this strategy works out for you, then that little vial ends up paying for itself once that customer makes that purchase of whatever item that you gave them for free, so that they could come back to your store and purchase the full size bottle. And you could do this with, if you sell lotions or body sprays, if you do shower gels, you could always give out a little sample of your product so that your customers could know that you do sell that item, and that if they want some more, or if they want the actual full size bottle, they could come back to your store to purchase that item as a whole. Now, the caveat to this process is that if it's a repeat customer, you have to make sure that you're not giving them the exact same thing every single time. So that means that you're going to have at least some type of interchangeable system in which you do not give the same item to the person that already purchased anything else from your store, because then it's going to defeat the purpose of you giving them something out for free, because then all they're going to do is just purchase something out of your store just to get that little vial for free, and they're not going to purchase the entire bottle. So make sure that if you do have a Shopify store, and I believe Etsy store tells you a repeat customers as well, that you do not put in the exact same scent or the exact same item if you only have one item of that thing. So you're probably going to have at least, at the most, 3 different interchangeable free gifts if that person comes back to purchase something else from you. And if you know that person comes regularly back to you, then you give them something else, something of more value as a thank you for coming over and over and over to your shop to purchase from you. So those are my things. To me, I don't see it necessary to have wax melts, because not everybody owns a wax melter. But if that works for you, then by all means do it, because people do enjoy flameless scented candles, and that is a candle in a way without the actual wick or a container. So if you found this to be helpful, let me know in the description box below how well does selling wax tarts works for you, and let me know if you also sell wax melters with your wax tarts, because there's some stores that I've noticed that they do also have wax melters for sale. So and let me know if you're going to try this new idea of mine out, because it worked for me, and I like to share things that have worked for me so we could all be in the know together. So let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and be aware that I do upload videos every Wednesdays. I used to upload videos at 6 o'clock every Wednesdays, but sometimes life gets in the way. And I kind of cheated you guys out of last week's video. Yeah, I had so much things to do that I kind of skipped out on filming. The camera shut off. So I kind of skipped out on last week's video because I was like super busy, and I had a meeting, a marketing meeting, and it ran longer than expected, and then I had to do other stuff, and then filming was not, I didn't do it ahead of time like I usually do it. So yeah, I'm sorry about last week's film. I mean, it was a good video, but it was definitely not the video that I'm used to making for you guys. It was just a short clip of me making bath salts for my YouTube channel, not for my YouTube channel. No, wait, for my Instagram channel. My Instagram account, instead of from my YouTube channel. So yes, today I did a video and I'm still rambling on. So hasta la próxima. Bye, mi gente bella.